Everyone, and welcome into the TexAgs Rewind presented by Specs, the four-time retailer of the year. We are here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Ella Ryan at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Your favorite part of the program?
My favorite part's probably just you and Billy talking. I just always have a good laugh.
Yeah?
Just fun.
Do you make your bed in the morning?
I make my bed when I get home from work.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to sleep in as much as I can.
Yeah, we're going to have to work on that because those extra 2 or 3 minutes that you get are doing nothing for your
yes,
sleep.
Yes, they are.
All right, that was a good one. Nick, your favorite part of the show?
Marty Smith, obviously.
Because of the gratitude or because of the analysis?
You have a way of always, getting these guys out of their shell and talking in a more, personal way. So I like hearing that side of them.
That seems like a compliment for me as well. Nick, that's the first time. Thank you very much. What else made the rewind today?
Well, OB. That's it. OB, Billy, Marty.
Anything in particular about OB?
No, just OB.
Just OB. An OBism here on TexAgs Rewind. Check it. What A&M did in this game against the Gators was what they've done so well this year, is they put that chokehold in the fourth quarter and they just keep applying pressure and they tap you the bleep out.
Yeah, but you know what?
No.
I wish they would just come out and deliver the knockout punches early. And I thought they were going to. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns.
Feeling good.
And then Le'Veon.
And then Le'Veon goes down. Yeah. We have no word on Le'Veon's status at the moment. I'm going to be optimistic until I'm told I'm not allowed to be. And we'll hear from Coach Oko later on today. Hopefully it's a day-to-day thing. I have no clue.
Is it just me, or did anybody else think the offense changed when Le'Veon went out?
No, it's the offense changed when Le'Veon went out. I mean, that's exactly the point where A&M started punting the ball quite a bit.
Yeah, and it was at the end of a 7-yard run on the first play after his. Yep. It was the first play he ran after. It was his first run after the 22-yard touchdown run.
But we knew this game was going to be tight entering the fourth quarter, right? That was kind of the vibe. Like most SEC games feel that way.
Most of them do. I thought that they were in a position that I thought this was going to be the game that they flexed offensively and defensively at the same time. And to a certain degree, it was.
I mean, they won by 17 against a team and they scored 34 points against a team that had given up the most, 27 on the year.
But it was still a game. Yeah, they won by 17, but it was a game in the fourth quarter, and I didn't think it would be. I thought that the way they were moving the ball, that this was going to be a game that you've been waiting for. We'd say, look, they leaned on their offense to beat Florida.
Yeah.
To beat Notre Dame. And then the defense stepped up big and against Auburn and all that. And this was the game that, because Florida had those 2 impressive drives, and then after that it was nothing, pretty much. You know. And I'm thinking, okay, they've got that under control, and the offense is about to blow them out of the water. And then, they didn't.
Yeah, and credit to Florida's defense making adjustments, too. I know Le'Veon going down was a big part of that, but they made some adjustments. And then A&M's three of their 4 best offensive players all were dinged up.
I don't know any other way to say it. I would just be beaming. Again, I feel like this is a really complete team. I feel like there's NFL talent all over the place. And on top of that, there's an obvious culture that's been built of self-accountability and accountability to your brother. And there's a ferocity, and there's, for lack of a better term, there's a violence that this team plays with, and it's a violent game, and that's what you want. And so the league is very hard, David. I'll be surprised if anybody emerges from this league without a blemish or 2, because any given Saturday in this league, you can lose if you don't have your absolute A game. And there's so much talent, there's so much depth that the floor of the league is so much higher than maybe it's ever been. But I don't know what else you could want if you're a college football fan to be undefeated after 6 games of the season, to defend your home, the way A&M has, to be explosive offensively the way A&M is, to be so fast to the football the way that A&M is defensively. I just don't know what else you could dream of in the most competitive era of the sport that you could ever know. And when what, seven or eight programs have fired their coaches already because those wheels you're talking about fell off the bus. If you would have told me, man, a month ago that James Franklin would be unemployed
at midfield with 12 minutes and I think 38 seconds left, and they proceed to go on an 8-minute plus drive to only cover 50 yards, 12 plays, convert 3 third downs, grind it out, clutch plays to keep the chains moving, punch it in for a touchdown, end the game. With under 5 minutes left, they're up 14, game over. It was offense complementing defense. It was defense complementing offense or backing each other up. It was both of them at the same time. The end result was a 34-17 win over an SEC team that came in here desperate, and it came in here confident, and it came in here with a hell of a lot of talent. And the spread was, what, 8?
It was 8.
And they beat them by 17, and they handed Florida their worst loss of the season. Now, I know they have 4 losses now. 3 of those were very close. This game was close too, but A&M put so much distance away, and they really put the game away in the exact opposite style they started it. When they start with a 2-play, 75-yard answer, and they end it with a 12-play, 50-yard nail in the coffin, it just is a perfect example of what this team can do. They will answer, respond, beat you in any way required. And because, like we've been talking about, they don't have any glaring weaknesses, they can do it a different day, a different way each week. They can do it differently within a game. And I thought this was, I think Elko may have said this, I thought this was their most complete effort. And I know it was up and down in terms of the offensive production, but my God, guys, like, let's remember who you're playing there. That Florida defense, you've got half a season's worth of evidence. Nobody's done to them what A&M did to them.
Nobody.
Miami didn't.
27.
Texas sure as hell didn't. They didn't come close. And South
scored,
Florida's a solid team. LSU didn't even come close.
LSU scored 13 on them.
Yeah.
Offensively.
Here's the other thing to say about the 13. They scored 13 with 4 picks. They had 5. It was a pick 6. So, like, let's take that one out. That pushed them to 20. But they had 4 interceptions the rest of that game and still could only turn that into 1 touchdown. A&M scored 4 touchdowns on these guys, 3 in the first half alone, and, moved the ball up and down the field for a lot of this football game against a really good defense. Today, more people that are listening to us are worried about if Mike Elko gets poached, which I don't see happening, but that's going to be a point of conversation just because of Penn State, and they're already doing it. We've seen this coming in the last couple. I never would have thought Franklin would get fired.
I didn't either. But
when he lost to UCLA and people started going, what if he got fired? I think one of our buddies here in this room who is panicking, Polly, first had the thought when they lost in overtime to Oregon. I don't think James Franklin should have been fired. I think that is, I know Pate called it insane.
They were just in the play.
And I don't care that they were ranked high a few weeks ago because that has nothing to do with this year. That's just based on preseason when you don't play. They were in the playoffs in an overtime. They were in OT to go to the national championship game.
Yeah.
They played in the Big Ten title game. For that to fall apart to the point that they're going to fire him, and I don't know if it was Pate or somebody else, but I liked what they said, is like, sometimes you're going to have to, early in the season, realize, man, this is just going to be a really bad year. The question is, has your coach proven enough to stay? So, like, if Texas and Sark had lost to OU and looked like they were going to go like 7-5, you would just have to say, this is a bad year, but we're not thinking of firing this guy because we've been to the last 2 playoffs. Problem with Penn State is I think their people fell for that whole thing about he has never won a big game, he'll never win a big game, and they believed what the rest of the country. It's factual that he hasn't. It wasn't factual that he never will. And the rest of the country started to believe their fan base and donors started to believe what was out there themselves. So I think the thought process was, we've peaked. He's not getting this back. Losing to Northwestern at home, inexcusable. I get that. I'm just like, man, I'm going to be really interested to follow that Penn State hire.
All right, we're going to close out with Ella, and I want you to work in some kind of rap lyric. It might be what OB said on the show today. I don't know if you want to go there, but close it out with something.
Okay, now I'm stressed. I got Baby Got Back on my mind now.
Because OB said it. That's why. Not because Ella was thinking about that song.
I worked it in. There we go. Make sure to follow along and like and subscribe and text, call, or just chat us on TexAgs Live.
And we'll be back like the baby. Never mind. I disregarded that. We'll see you next time.